let's roll. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. She give me a bit of her love. Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to another one, man. It's your boy, Ra1, and this is Spark-N-Conversation, but this is our special segment we call Convo Corner. And Convo Corner is a conversation that I have with people who push the boundaries of what it means to just say, I'm going to do something. They actually really do it. They actually are the people who we can learn from. For those of people that are really aspiring to get to the next level, these are the people that have gotten to the place that you want to be. And this is what we do. We have conversations with them to hopefully inspire all of y'all out there that's in the creative space to stay focused, stay mindful of the fact that what you're operating through is your gift, right? And that was given to you. So we're going to get it in because I got the brother Master Yeti in the building and we're going to chop it up with him. All right. So listen, before I bring him up, I want to read a little bit about, because I want y'all to understand who he is. And this is just from him. This is from his words. He says, I am a producer and artist from Chicago. His family has a deep root in arts and music after spending his 20s as a graphic and web designer. He's begun to do what he loved to do most in his 30s, and that's produce and write music. So what I want to do is I want to bring him up. But first, I got to bring my co-host up, Gloria, because she's the reason that we got these valuable people on the platform. So let's bring her up real quick. Gloria, what's good?
What's up, Rob?
Ain't that. I think you're it might not be you, it might be me, because every time I turn around these headphones, they do some crazy stuff where it seems like I can't hear. But how are you doing today?
I'm good, and I'm so excited about our guest today, Master Yeti. He's popping. He got it on and popping, and so I'm so happy to have him on the platform today and can't wait to bring him up so we can chat with him. That's
right. So real quick, just tell us a little bit about him from your perspective, because I know you had the opportunity to talk to him, a while back. And so how tell us a little bit about him before we bring him up from your perspective.
Well, I interviewed Master Yeti back in 2022, I believe, for the magazine. And then when I talked to Master Yeti then, he was in the process of, I won't say changing rap music, but he was in the process of bringing it back to the positive, because They had, he felt like that it had gone south and people had made it so negative and stuff like that. And he wanted to bring back the positive side to rap music, because rap music does have a message. And a lot of people don't listen to it because of the foul language or stuff like that. But he wanted to bring back the positive in rap music. And I believe that's what he's been doing.
Dope. So look, we're going to chop it up with him real quick because he has a new album that he's getting ready to drop titled The Fourth Quarter. So we're going to learn about that. We're going to learn about the process that he went through to get this album done. We're going to try to figure out who the production is behind it and all these extra things and features. And the brother's visuals is crazy. So without further ado, we're going to bring up the brother Master Yeti. What's up, bro?
What's that word?
Ain't nothing. What's going on with you? How you doing today?
Nothing much. I'm doing pretty good. Besides working, trying to get to it, sit there, talk to y'all, see what's going on, spark up something real quick.
I can dig it. Yo, man, well, first off, man, we want to thank you for being on the platform this evening, because we know you are a busy brother. And,
I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, man, facts, man. And listen, you got that new project coming, man. And, we want to know about it, right? We don't want to wait until later on in the conversation. We want to know about this new project, man. So first off, brother, let's talk to us about this new project, man. Tell us the title, tell us, the inspiration behind it, and what you aim to get out of putting out this project.
Well, the project is called Fourth Quarter. It's my first album, studio album, to date. I was actually putting out singles at first for a very long time, but I wanted to give the audience a collective, because for years I have been giving the audience, different styles, different scenarios, but I want to put it all into put it into a group. So when you come into this one spot, you can hear one after the other, one after the other. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't
Right.
just want any type of CD. I didn't want the traditional way. I kind of wanted to give different, I guess I want to call it like different. I wanted to give different vibes for every track on the album. Me, I'm a vibed out type person. So when I listen to
Mm,
music, I like good instruments. I love my 808s. I like a strong message in the music, but I also like catchiness. And that's what I tried to put in this album. I want to make it nice and catchy, repetitive. I wanted to, give people something that they could relate to from different perspectives, not just my perspective, but I want to kind of step in the shoes of some other people that's going, that have stories. Kind of like Kales did in a way. When he was rapping as if he was I remember him and Mariah Carey did a song where he was singing her verse and she was singing his verse, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just putting it in that
mm,
different perspective. And I'm like, hold on, that's kind of different. I'm just kind of trying to go a creative route with it. So I kind of want to
right.
give you guys a nice body of work, something to ride to this spring, some more positive than negative, because I have not just my peers listen to me, but I have a lot of youth listening to me as well. So I kind of
Yeah,
like kind of shed a positive light. I try to like boss it up, vibe, bossed up, get to the money. That's what I'm about. So
yeah. Nah, I checked your joints out, bro, and you definitely about that, man. Cause the one joint that I know that I checked out, I thought was like really, really visually dope, bro, was that My Time joint. You know what I'm saying? And the way you put that together. But before we get into that, man, I know you said something that was really fly. You was like, when Kells was out, because you got that Chicago, swag. How much of a Chicago influence is in this album, or if any? Because let's think about it. It's been a lot of drill and that type of vibe, or more of a
hmm
commercial sound coming out of there. So I like what you're doing. You're right in that middle. You right there with you got that commercial sound, and you also got your own way you vibe on the record. Right, you're not rapping like everybody else in
yeah.
Chicago on the record. So tell me, how much of that influence is in your music? Do you say Chicago is in that music right now?
To be honest, Chicago is 100% in this music because I've been in Chicago my whole life. Everything I've done in Chicago, even being a part of the streets for so long, that's where I was raised. So I have to give back to Chicago. I didn't choose the way to come up that some people do. I came up more on a boss type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those type of guys pulling up. I'm in my 20s driving up in a Bentley, driving up in a Maybach. I'm that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out doing all kind
Right.
of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I always been that way. So in this album, yeah, you got the Chicago sound definitely. I want to say more kind of push towards yay in a way. I do have I want to say I got a couple songs where my rap style kind of ventures off a little bit, kind of how I want to say when I was listening to it, I felt like it gave off a Dirt type of feel, the way I was talking, like I can't remember what song it is, but when I was like, I'm in the back of the V with the flame. That's similar to like how Dirk would have presented it to you. So I got kind of like a drill presentation on certain parts that need to be drilled. But other than that, it's straight musical, it's straight inspirational, it's straight letting you know who I am and what I'm about.
Yeah. Cause that's the vibe, man. Because from the records that I checked out from you so far, you know, that's your vibe, bro. Like you really in that pocket, and the way that you approach the records, with your verses and stuff like that, let me know that you actually taking time to be uniquely you, which is the hardest thing for most artists to do. They try to
Yep.
catch whatever is out right now,
Whatever
and very
wave is out, they trying
seldom
to catch it.
they catch it, right? And but you decided to stick to approaching the records totally different than I mean, there's really not a rapper in Chicago that I can say right now, and not to put you in a comparison because that's not what I want to do. I'm just saying in the sense of whenever you think about a region, right? Because that's what they do. When an artist pop in a certain area, they start that region. But in that region, you got a different sound. So, you could cut through. I hope, the following that you got in Chicago really stand behind you and help you push through, bro, because
For sure.
that you definitely approach the records different. Who inspired these records though? Like your lifestyle. I know you said that. So let's talk a little bit about your growing up then, because I guess that's what would inspire that, yo. Um are you from an entrepreneurial based family, or was it more of this that, what you saw is what you wanted? Like, you know what I'm saying? How was the vibe growing up in Chicago for you?
To me, it was both because I grew up on two different sides of the city. So, I had my grandparents' side who I was with over the weekends. My great granny wanted to raise us because I'm an identical twin. I got an identical twin brother. So
Gotcha.
yeah, and y'all will see more of him, to come out because I didn't just want to just put that out like as we was a group or anything. I want to kind of like, wow people. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll think it's AI or something. Like, hold on, wait, it's two of them. You gonna see him do his cameo, and we got songs together and everything. So I'm just really trying to put it together like a cinematic type of situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm really rolling stuff out
Yeah.
a little different, And as far as to go back to answer your question, I grew up on both sides. I was in the streets and I went to college. I did all that, everything. You know what I'm saying? So I gained my name, and I was always positive, not just, doing everything, that on the negative side. But, we came from a lot of entrepreneurial background. And, my uncle, his name is Anthony Harmon. That's one of my biggest influences in this music. That's one of the reasons why I even got into music in the first place. You know what I'm saying? We have piano players, bass players, guitarists. We got all that in our family, 24/7. Most of the people in my family, they play for famous gospel artists. My uncle, he was with Yolanda Adams. She had snuck up here to come to his funeral. He died at like I want to say 39, 2000 and let me see, 2007, no 2003, right? Because I got it tatted on my arm, but 2003. He was my biggest inspiration because he did it from a standpoint of a 15-year-old. He never had a regular job. He was flying back and forth with all these famous people. And, Kels was one of the people that he played for. You know what I'm saying? He played for Mary J. Blige. He played for a whole lot of famous artists. I remember when I was young, I was 12, I believe. Michelle from Destiny's Child come knocking on the door. I'm in the hundreds. The wild hundreds, that's what we call it. So we in the hood, we in the wild hundreds. She come knocking on the door. I'm like, yeah, I open the door. I'm like, nah, this can't be who I think it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a fan. You know what I'm saying? So through high school. So I'm
Right.
like, this can't be who I think it is. Is Anthony here? I'm like, yeah, yeah, we
Right.
let her in and everything. I'm talking about me and Twin ran upstairs, super geek. But Uncle came down, talked to her. They had a whole show going on and stuff. So he was playing for us, so they had to, rehearse or whatever. But anyway, he did some amazing things, and I wanted to be like that. I looked up to that, just being in the same environment as him, and I wanted to do that. I also seen some of the big homies pulling up in those nice cars, and I wanted to do that. So I just wanted to figure out how could I do it and do it a legit way? How could I, be legal with it, be 100%, and also be able to inspire people while I'm doing it? I don't just do nothing for me. I do it to inspire because I know that people watching. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why I create
Yeah.
music. I want to inspire people. I came from nothing. I came from not knowing how to do nothing. I sat in my studio and taught myself this stuff for like 5, 6 years. Taught myself from point A to B. Didn't know how to write. Didn't I started off producing. Didn't know how to produce. I called my mom. I say, hey, I say, how do you count a beat? I didn't even know how to count. I didn't know what BPM. I say, what's BPM? But I really wanted to get involved in the music because I knew how to play the piano since a kid, and I always hear music on the radio, and I'm always like, man, I would change this in that song. I would do this instead of that on that verse. So my girl at the time, she was like, well, she's my wife now, but she was like, why don't you just get the studio? Why don't you just make your own music? Why don't you just do you? And I was like, you know what? Let's do that. We invested into it, put a bag behind all this for years. And I just taught myself from point A to point B. I started off making beats, and then I wanted people to rap on the beats, but I felt like the way I was making beats was too beyond my time, kind of like futuristic, a different sound. I'm not one of the ones that follow the trend that's out. I may implement the trend, but I'm not going to follow it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely
Right.
a recreator at the end of the day. So as I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure things out, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just have to learn how to do this myself. I'm gonna have to learn how to rap. I'm gonna have to learn how to sing a little bit. And man, I'm a true believer that if you lock in 100%,
Yeah.
you will come out with some amazing stuff. You will grow for real. You'll grow. People don't think it. They like, I don't know this. I don't know this. It's any amount of little time that you want to put into a craft. You just have to do it. If you do it, it's gonna add. Every time you do it, it's gonna add until your cup fill up. And when it fill up, it's gonna overflow if you keep going. You see what I'm saying? And that's just how it go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah, but you're right about that. You got to keep going. And the one thing about it is self-belief too, right? Because, a vision and a dream is not the same thing to me. right?
Mhm.
I think, a dream is, your sleep. A vision is something that you see whether you sleep, you're awake. It don't matter what you're doing. You look and you see yourself in a certain position, and you just got to get there. The only thing is that you made a conscious decision not to hop on the fast way. Or better yet, like I had Tommy Morgan Jr. on the platform, and he said something crazy I thought was amazing. He said, there's no elevator to success. You got to take
Mhm.
the stairs. And some people do take the elevator though, because that elevator will get you there quickly, but when you're gonna fall just as fast as you get there,
I believe
right?
in that. Yep.
But you got to take them steps, and you decided to do it a legit way versus doing it the fast way, and to get to where you are. So we got to commend you on that, especially wanting to portray that, or to not be afraid to say that, because there's you looking at you, because
Yep.
they're inspired by, like you said, the Dirks and everybody else. But hopefully they learning from what Dirk is going through now about that
Mhm.
life as well too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
yeah. So I want to ask you something, Gloria, because when we think about music and the state of hip hop, right nowadays, it is a lot of negative. Or we notice that when it comes down to what they actually push, is really a negative image, and the women have been dominating lately, but it seemed like all the women are being portrayed in a negative way in hip hop, like. And then when they did have Rhapsody or whatever, just because of her visual, they're not giving her the same shine as they give some of these other girls with less talent, just showing more, right? So, what do you think about music? Because you interview a lot of people in that space. What do you think about the state of hip hop, and compared to what Master Yeti is doing right now?
The state of hip hop, it has a good message. It has a lot of it is people's experience. A lot of time what they rapping about or stuff like that. But it's just how it's presented sometimes. It's presented in a negative way. So a lot of to me they lose a lot of audience because people that would like to listen to it don't really like what they're saying sometimes. And the music and a lot of hip hop music that I have heard, it's been good. The beat, the music, even the message. But it's just sometimes what they say in the message that is created, especially for women. You're right. A lot of hip hop music present women in a very negative way, and I wish it was some way that we can turn that around
Mhm.
to show women in a more positive way in the hip hop industry. Because all women ain't whores and bitches and all that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
very
yeah,
smart, educated women and stuff like that, and it's very respectable. But then you got to fall back on us too. We got to be accountable for our portion of it too, because men gonna do how you present yourself to them,
Yep.
and if you don't how you present yourself to them, it's how they gonna treat you.
Yep.
Pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah, but I'm hoping
yeah,
with Master Yeti's music that it's more, you know, positive and more it can relate, a lot of people can relate to his music because
gotcha.
you know
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. What do you think about that, Yeti? Like, as far as the state of hip hop is concerned right now, and then with your contribution to the game.
Um, I listen to hip hop today. I mean, I think it's kind of in a switch up right now. I think it's switching over. I think
Mm,
it's moving a little bit past the drill, but the drill is always going to be in there. It's not going to die down completely because that's part of the culture, to be honest. So, but I think that it's kind of a mixture. Is we? I feel like in a way we kind of most people. I always have people saying, "Man, I wish we can go back to 2012, 2015 era." You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we kind of getting back to that because I hear new
yeah,
creativity with some of these new rappers, some of these new singers. I hear the R&B scene. It's kind of, to me, I feel like it's not spoke about enough, but I still like R&B and I like how they mix it and how they changing it up, how they flowing with it.
yeah.
And kind of in my album, if you see in my new album, Fourth Quarter, I did have a song with I got a couple songs that's with an artist on there, and this artist, to be honest with you, this is an artist I created, but you won't be able to tell unless I told you that. You know what I'm saying? I trained her how to sing the
Mm,
song. I wrote the song, produced the song, everything. But I wanted to create this type of, I wanted to give you a visual from listening to the song. Most of the songs, you know what I'm saying? But I still
yeah,
have that R&B spice up in there. I still got that in there. I got the little bit of the drill in there. I got a little bit of the trap in there. I got in some songs you might hear a little gospel inspiration in there. I just mix some of everything together as if I'm in a mixing pot. You know what I'm saying? And I try to
yeah.
give like a a vivid, I try to give a vivid picture that you can see with your ears. You see what I'm saying? So
Nah, I
when you
got you.
listen to this music, it ain't just what you hearing. You can see everything that I'm talking about. You don't even need a video. If you listen to the new album and you really pay close attention to all the songs and what I'm going through in the songs and what I'm talking about, it's gonna give you that visual. And I did one song on there that's 100% to be like different. I never heard a song on the radio like it, and that's called uh it's my album, and I can't even think of the song right now. Hold on, wait, think about it. Oh yes. What is it? What is it? Think. I should have had the album in front of me. I can't think about it. But anyways, I can't think of the title. But
Nah, it
listen,
happens. Nah,
but
it
listen,
happens. Trust me,
it's
I
like
get you.
number, I think it's like number 8 on the it's number 8 on the album. And she's literally talking, it starts out with the girl singing. And she's singing in the song, and she's literally the route that she's going, she politely treating me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think more people can relate to that. A woman politely treating a man. You do got some women out there, they don't play about that. You know what I'm saying? And when a man out there acting up, they gonna be on that. And this song is telling you, like, I'm on that. Don't you remember when I dragged you out the house? Like, keep lying, I'm gonna knock them teeth out your mouth. Like, she's saying that in the song, and we not used to a woman talking like that. But I did that song so it can wake you up. Because when my son heard it, he was like, wait, hold on. He instantly got an attitude like, ain't no woman finna do that to me.
Yeah.
You ain't finna hit me in my mouth. You ain't never dragged me. I know he was literally talking back to her as if he into it with her. I'm like, it's a song. I say, but this is what I wanted though. This is exactly
Right.
what I
Right.
wanted. You know what I'm saying? So I got some.
Yeah.
That's why I call it the fourth quarter. It's like a bag of tricks. I got some tricks in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's game
Yeah.
time. It's really time for me to like turn it up, and I'm really turning everything up on the video. Everything that's coming out going forward, we going to the sky with it.
But the
Yeah,
thing
nah,
about
bro.
it is, you have some women that's like that.
Yeah,
You really
exactly.
do. You
I know
really,
some that's like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I'm like that. I
See,
don't
yeah,
like, but don't
yeah.
try.
For
I
sure.
believe it. Nah, I
I can
believe
believe,
it.
yeah.
I believe it. But
Yeah.
yo, but that's the thing, the art, that's what's missing in music. I think
Yeah.
that's what I want to say, right? People are afraid to be artists, right? And draw and paint the picture. I think
Yeah.
most people are following the trend because they're chasing the bag, right? Because
That
in
part.
the way that it looks like that's their way to the bag, right? And they want to get
Hmm.
there the quickest way possible because that old fashioned way of somebody saying, "Hey, man, you can't get a job."
Yeah.
While you in the studio, right? Like you really don't have to. I know you doing open mics and stuff like that, and yeah, they about be 3 of them every week, and I get that, but until you build your audience, you can invest in you some merch and stuff like there's
Exactly.
things that they could do, and I tell other artists all the time, and I say, yo, the one thing artists should always be doing is finding the people who are putting out movies and putting out films because licensing your music in films is going to take you into a whole nother space, right? Versus chasing that bag or trying to chase that radio or chase that whatever that thing is. I mean, you can create and keep putting out music
That's key
because
right
there's a
there.
new film, right? Every
That's key.
every every day it's 100 films coming out in
Can
your
I cut you off
lane.
real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go
But
ahead,
look,
bro.
I only want to cut you off because of what you just said. A lot of people don't think that way. I think that way. That's why I made the album the way I made it. That's why I didn't curse a lot in a lot of the songs. You gonna catch a couple of them that's got a little whatever, but that's why I had to be really cognizant of what I said in those songs, and I had to really be particular about what I wanted to talk about because I do have songs in there that I'm pushing out for sync. Like right now, I got a couple songs that's runner up for some sync opportunities right now. So I'm not gonna talk about it, but once stuff happened, then you feel me? And I really think I got some I want to be really commercial with this album. I want to be 100% commercial. I want the songs to be able to go sync before anything. I'm not too focused on doing the mainstream like I am, but not. I'm really trying to get that back route. I'm trying to go through that sync because you can get that bag off a sync, and people don't understand
Mm,
that. And that's an
mm,
easy way in too. You know what I'm saying? Because movies are
mm.
looking for songs every single day. But when you go back to the original way, everybody ain't really looking for music. People are exploring, they tapping in, but they ain't really interested in this and that. And yeah, and of course, it's all about following who got a buzz and who trending, and we know that. And about how much bag you, because it's also pay to play. So it's how much bag you putting into this venture as well. But
That's true.
I really like what you said about the sync because that's what I'm really focused on with this album. If this album can get me at least 5 of those songs out of that 20 this year in 2026 into some movies, I even submitted one to Power recently, and I'm waiting on the reply back from that. But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
if we can get some of these songs, I just need about 5 of them. Give me 5 to turn up to real quick, and I'm gonna show you what to do. That's it. I'm going straight sync style first.
And look, I tell people all the time, especially artists, I say when it come down to movies, it's not about your age. It's not about what you look like. It's about the music. I said,
Yep.
listen, it's so much dope music coming out from rappers that's over 40 right now. Right? The producers that's over 40 are in their bag right now. This is the time for all artists. If this is your thing, if this is what you do, if your pen game is mean and you really about that, you gotta start attaching your music to film. It's the and then let me be honest with you on that. When it comes down to the syncing, because television as well. A lot of people are missing that bag too because television is looking for music as well. Not
Yep.
only television, series. So even when people are sitting here and they're thinking, and then think about it, the average series they do a season, they doing anywhere between 12 to 13 episodes. That's a different for just in the event that one artist can get 3 placements on 3 episodes. I mean, out of a season, that's 3 records or the same song. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Placed 3 times. This is what I'm saying to people about why it's so important to focus on the art and then the business, right? Because they tell all the artists that it's 90% business and 10% art. And that's how they was able to trick everybody. That's how they was able to trick us into just focusing on that one part. And that's why people chase the hits. That's why people sign their lives away and give they talent away because they got tricked. They were supposed to put the money into the art. They were supposed to create the art. That's the value. The value
Yep.
is in the art. The business is it'll come to you, but the art is where they're gonna come to. So people lost that. That's why it's so much cookie cutter music out here, and you are on the right path because you're going after the sync. You're not playing, and if you go after the sync, then once you get the sync, then bro, now you got a whole movie clip with your now you got another means of marketing your movie just by taking that little clip that your song is in. Now that when you go get the bag, when it's time to get booked for a show, boom. Now it's a whole nother level of what they gotta pay you to go get booked for a show versus it just saying, yeah,
Yep.
I got, it's a whole nother business that I know artists don't understand. Like when you do that and getting synced in music will also get you closer to a booking agent because your music is in the movie.
Yep.
We gotta people gotta understand that. Like that's the hustle. When artists link up with movie producers, that's the hustle. If you ever want to figure out a way to get your music in the right space and where it need to be, they need to hook up. And I ain't gonna lie to you. That's the main reason why we put this event together that I do. It's called We Don't Wait, We Create. And Gloria, she's a part of the one we get ready to do. We put together this networking event, right, bro? And that's what we're doing. We're linking all of the aspects of what makes anything move right now together because they don't know that they're supposed to be working together. Like the models don't know they're supposed to be working with the clothing lines, right? The clothing lines
Yeah.
don't know
That's
they're
dope.
supposed to be working with the artists, right? And
Yep.
working with the movies because if you place your clothing line in the movie at the same time a song is being played, now the designer, the person who's in the movie wearing the clothes, the movie, everybody is marketing and promoting that one thing. Now you got
Yep.
all these brands in one space.
Yep.
So that's what people are missing. That connecting dot is what they missing for that next level. So I'm glad that you already on it, and we're gonna stay in contact, bro, because we're gonna have to
For
get you out
sure.
here. We on the East Coast, but
Yeah,
we in North Carolina,
I'll come
right?
through.
So
yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta
yeah,
get you
yeah,
there,
we gotta
Master
get you
Yeti.
to come through, bro, so you can, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we know, if most people know, that North Carolina used to be the movie capital before they did what they did, messing around with that freaking tax.
Hmm.
But it's so much still here, right? We only 5 hours from Atlanta, 3 hours from Charlotte, 2.5 hours from Charlotte, about 3 hours from Charlotte. Like, everything is here, right? So,
Hmm.
yo, I want you to, we're gonna tap in, bro. We're gonna get to going. But
For
before
sure.
we do that, I want you to tell everybody too about inspiration, right? Because I'm sure it wasn't an easy road for you to get this album done.
No.
Because most artists, they gotta go through the most with creation. Because how else do we get our inspiration to create? So how was it going through this process of making this album? Were you having to really dig deep into finishing and making deadlines and challenges and life and family? How did you deal with that portion into getting into this album?
Well, how did I deal with that? I kind of deal with it by just taking every day at a time and just like really put my foot down. Like, because through this album, that's why it took me a year, because I was going through different things through the whole year, or to be honest, through my whole life, to be honest. But I was able to mix things from way back then to now and what's happening now, and to be able to put into a art form of a clear message of, how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm going through at the moment. And the only way I was able to get through that was to constantly come into this room and just create, to constantly I went back listening if I get a brain freeze, I'm going back and I'm listening to old music. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back listening to some music from every different century. I'm trying to hear something so I can find something that's different, that's not the same, that I've never heard. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I came into a lot of roadblocks where in some cases I had to put songs down and then come back to them. To be honest, I got about 6 or 7 songs that didn't even make the album because I couldn't finish them in time, but they really good songs. But guess what? I could save for another project. You got to be kind of strong enough to say, hey, I'm gonna do some and I'm gonna put this out for this, but I can also say some and I can keep creating, But you have to have a great headspace in order to even push an album,
Mm,
let alone to sit and
mm,
create. And then when you the creator of the album, say it's different if I was just the artist. That would be a lot different, a lot easier, you know. But it's hard to do an album when you're dealing with, let's just say if I'm an artist and I'm signed and my label is controlling every aspect of the album. That's even harder to me. So I felt like me doing it is it's very hard to do it yourself because you don't have the help from no label, you don't have the help from nobody else, and you only had your ear to go off of, and you got to send it out to people when you get done with songs to see what they think about it. And everybody, ain't gonna give you the truth because some people, you know, they gonna stroke that ego, and I don't really like people that stroke the ego. Just tell me the dry cut truth. That's how I am. You tell me 100%, no, that's weak, no, that ain't that good. That's okay. You could do better. Like my bro, he always tell me if I send him something and he don't like it, he be like, nah, you got to go back in there. You got to do that. He'll stay on the phone with me while I'm doing it at the booth and make sure it's right, and then it's 100% right. He said, now that's it right there. So I've had a lot of those instances too. It ain't just I put the album together and it came out perfect. No, I had to think about a beat. I had to create the beat and lay the track. From the drums to the guitar to the bass to the piano to all that stuff. Now you're talking about a composition. That's hard within itself to come up with a composition. You got to be creative for that because now you got to think about, what that hook gonna sound like. Can it be something that can be
mm,
TikTokable? You know what I'm saying? Songs nowadays have to be TikTokable. So I feel like in a
mhm.
lot of my songs, the way I spit is it's a TikTokable type of moment. I spit a lot of sayings. I spit a lot of lines that you can use for a t-shirt brand or you can use for, and I gotta use that one day. That's hot. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
a lot went into this. And then you gotta Do the vocals. That's next. Think about it. The days I got to do the vocals and the mic messing up, or the computer want to update and some stuff happen. Now I'm down for a whole week because we know how Apple Computer is when it comes to Logic and all this stuff. You down for a whole week. You trying to figure it out. It's one little problem. You scratching your head. I'm throwing stuff. I'm mad. I don't know how to feel. And this stuff, like, ain't nobody really seen me get mad, but I really be getting mad sometimes. But I know how to control it too. But I like to do it in the comfort of
Right.
my own. So,
Yeah, there's no
you know,
space.
you
Yeah.
you kind of got to let out all that craziness, all that anger, so that way you can put that same feeling into your song when you step up to that mic and you saying them words. They got to feel that. You can't be reading that. Like when I'm up there, I'm saying this off the top of the head, then I'm going back to write it down. That's just how it is. I
Mm,
can't just do it and I gotta practice it. No, I need to feel it from that gut so you can feel what I'm talking about, and it can go with the height of the hi-hats, the height of the 808, the height of whatever the curve is in the bass line or the guitar line in the song. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I'm one of those people kind of like Kanye. I take pride in all the little precision, all the little perfect spots and pockets that you put in the song.
Yeah.
I call them Easter
Yeah.
eggs because I always have a repeatable moment in my songs, multiple repeatable moments in my song, and I keep them short enough so that you can TikTok it if you need to. You feel me? So
Right.
you have to go from that, and then look, it don't stop there. It don't stop there. Then I'm like, oh man, damn. Okay, I gotta mix it down. Now I gotta step into engineer
Mm,
mode. Now we gotta put on the headphones and turn it down. Now I gotta sit here and mix it until it's perfectly right. And I gotta compare it to this, compare it to that. So it's really a
mm,
process. You know what I'm saying? And to come from where I came from and to learn from zero, like I didn't go to school for this. I taught myself this. I sat here and taught myself. So for a person to say that they can't do something, that can't word ain't even, it's not even a word. It shouldn't even be in a dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Because if you put the consistency in, you're gonna spit out the product. You're gonna spit it out. So I overcame a whole lot of stuff. I overcame a whole lot of feelings. I had to really, in some of those songs, I had to dig down deep in my inner self and think about some situations that I was in, some situations how I feel, even with the fam and friends. And I had to put that out in a great way where it ain't tearing nobody down, but it's also an art form that somebody else can relate to so they can see what I went through. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I just turned a lot of my pain. I just turned it into like it's like alchemy. It just went beautiful, to some flowers or some birds,
Nah,
So
I feel you.
yeah, so I kind of take everything within my environment, and like I said, if I'm feeling down, I feel like I can't do it, I have to get that quick shot, that quick boost of energy. Whether it's I go work out at the gym, I go take an hour walk or run or something. You know what I'm saying? I do all this stuff, and I come right back to it, and then I'm able to lay it down and get it done. It took me a little longer than expected to do it, but I didn't just want to put out anything. I want to be able to give different scenarios, different version of myself, so you can be like Yeti Universal. He can rap like this. He can sing like this. He can mix rap, sing. He can sound like this. He can go this. It ain't nothing I can't do. And I can make whatever type
Yeah.
of beat I want to make. You know what I'm saying? If somebody
Yeah.
tell me they need me to do something that's strictly commercial and dumb it all the way down, somebody just actually called me and asked me for a commercial song. So I got to get ready and do a commercial song. Like I don't like to call it jingle, but commercial theme
Yeah.
song
For a
for a
song, for a
product.
commercial.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to do that too. So people want the songs for commercial products, and to be honest, if I can get that last song Yeti, I'm gonna wait till you see what I'm gonna do with the video for that last song on my album. Listen to Yeti at the end.
Mm,
But I'm
mm,
definitely doing a shot at Yeti the brand. You know what I'm saying? It need to be some
yeah.
collaboration there, definitely. But the way I'm
Yeah.
gonna have that
Yeah.
video, it's gonna make you want to go ahead and step down and do that little brand real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the way you do your videos, fam, I'm sure they
Appreciate it.
gonna be they gonna be pleased visually. Now, if they don't do it, hey yo, that's on them at that point.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for
Because
sure.
you're gonna make it look like something. I'm telling you, all of y'all that's watching, that's gonna watch this conversation, I want y'all to make sure that y'all go check my man Join out, especially go to YouTube, the Master Yeti channel on YouTube. Go look at his visuals. I want y'all to see. I am not playing. The brother really take his visuals seriously. He is not playing when it come down to the marketing. Even in his videos, y'all, he got the cars. He is not playing. Right?
Mhm.
It's not like a
Yeah,
thing where you could look at people who are saying, and then the videos that I saw, he ain't got a whole mob of people. He ain't got this whole big, you know what I'm saying, gangster crew look and all that. He talking directly to who he talking to. I'm telling y'all, go check out his joints, man. Y'all gonna be visually pleasantly surprised, I think, because there's not a lot of artists who are taking that much, who are putting that much into their visuals. And I think that's the thing, right? They that's a cinematic look that you're going for, and it's content,
Yeah.
right? So it's content. So you could take one video and take, 30 seconds of a video, a music video, and that's a reel, and just boom, now you're moving it around and it's still moving your song around.
Yep.
Especially if you artists got your stuff, your metadata and all your other stuff. And I'm telling y'all, this is how you move your stuff around. And the brother got it. So I want them to really find your stuff, man, and really dig deep into what you got going on. So this is what we're gonna do, bro, because we want to make sure that people can get directly to what you got going on with the fourth quarter. Please tell everybody how they could pick up the album, how they can grab it or get your merch or whatever you got going on when it comes down to this fourth quarter project. How can people get it?
All right, so if you go to master.yeti and Instagram, you could definitely go in my bio. You can buy merch. And also, too, don't forget the album is on even. So if you want to support, I just put it up there for if people want to support and just throw some dollars to the album, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Cool. We take support. I appreciate it. But other than that, you can get it on Spotify. You can get it on it's on your Instagram, it's on your Facebook. If you need to use the music in any type of video, go ahead. I say you can use it, you can use it. All you got to do is search Master Yeti. When you uploading your video and they say what song you want to add to it, you can get it through any social media app. You can get it through any what's the other Pandora, iTunes, Deezer, SoundCloud, all those different things. So you can hear the album from anywhere. So
Facts,
also
facts.
too, what else? Oh, I also want to let them know too. I've been working on an RP server. This everything is a part of the album. So we are all, Grand Theft Auto. I have my own
Yeah,
RP
I
server
see
right
that.
now, so people can buy Yeti coins and they can come into the server. They can get exclusive cars, big rims, chains, tattoos. They can do everything that you really can't do in a regular Grand Theft Auto. A lot of people doing, I mean, not a lot of people, but certain people are doing servers now. You got your T Grizzly, Funny Mike. They I think Pooh Shiesty did just opened up a server too. So my server will be open probably about a couple weeks. I'm just waiting on my Yeti character to finish being built. We working on that right now, and I'm talking about this code. So yeah,
Facts.
it's definitely next level. So we definitely doing Yeti RP. Everybody can come in and play with me, win prizes, win cars, win a lot of money. I run the game, so I do what I want. So you just come in, you do what you need to do. Don't go against the rules. I'm gonna take care of you. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot going
Mm,
on. We got a lot of new merch that's getting ready to come out. I'm gonna keep y'all abreast of that. Just pay attention to my social medias, pay attention to my Instagram, pay attention to the TikTok. You know what I'm saying? And then you will be able to see all the merch that I got coming out. But I'm getting ready to do a nice rollout coming in the next upcoming 2 months. I got some things going on. Can't speak on it right now, but I'm gonna put it into motion, and you gonna know as soon as I do it.
facts, facts. And how everybody that's watching can get caught up and be put in the mix whenever he dropping everything. Y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all Google Master Yeti. But more so than not, make sure y'all click on the Instagram, lock in with the brother. Everything that he's doing when there's the announcements coming out, he gonna let y'all know so y'all could catch with him. And I need y'all to go check out his prior work so y'all could be ready for all the new stuff that he has
Yep.
coming out. All right. Because I'm telling you, this brother is putting in the work. Visually, he put the music in, he's producing, he's writing the whole nine. So you
Shooting.
gotta support you know what I'm saying? So you gotta support a brother who is doing it from the ground up. That's one thing about it. Like being an artist, sometimes you gotta wear many hats, right? Or
Yep.
being a creative. Let's just say that. Being a creative, because an artist is only part of being a creative. But thank you so much for being on the platform, bro. I want to make
Appreciate you for
sure that
having me.
people know. Yeah, man. I want to make sure that people know that, Master Yeti is in the building, Chicago, stand up, and y'all got to represent and support y'all home team, your home team for real, y'all.
For
And we
sure.
Gloria,
got
any last
to
words
North
you want to give?
Carolina too, bro.
Yeah, we got to get them
Master
out here,
Yeti, you
man. We
got to
going,
come to North
yeah,
Carolina.
yeah,
Got to.
We're
yeah,
gonna get you
yeah.
here.
Let's
we
do it.
put we put we putting the event together. It's in August right now on the weekend of the 22nd. We'd love to have you come out, man. You know what I'm saying? You could do a record. Also, you know what I'm saying, have a booth or something so that way people could get to know you and stuff like that. But we could chop it up on that
We're gonna chop it up for sure.
on the end. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But other than that, Gloria, you got anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
I don't have much. I just want, just want Master Yeti to come to North Carolina. And I
Master
know
Yeti coming to
North,
North
Ah,
Carolina.
North, North
I'll be
Carolina
there.
needs Master Yeti in the house.
All right, that's what it is. So, yo, again, to all of y'all that's watching, thank y'all so much. Y'all know what this is, man. This is Spark Conversations, special conversation called Convo Corner. Double shout out to Master Yeti for coming on the platform, sharing his time, sharing his wisdom, and also getting y'all prepared for that vibe that he getting ready to drop. You know what it is, the fourth quarter, y'all. I want y'all to go ahead and make sure y'all check that out. Make sure y'all follow him on all his social media platforms. And again, remember, I always leave y'all with this. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So until next time, y'all, peace.